Kodak, from monopolistic dominance to bankruptcy.
This is part 2 of 3 parts, and it's about Kodak from 1976 to 2000.
Kodak's heyday.
The years from 1901 to 2000 are the Kodak century, blurry days. The years from 1901 to 1975 are halcyon days, before Kodak invents the digital camera. After the invention of the digital camera, in the years from 1976 to 2000, Kodak is still in its heyday, as film sales continue increasing every year to 2000.
Now, let's go on into part 2. It's 1976 and the halcyon days are past, but Kodak's heyday continues. In 1979, Larry Madison, a Kodak senior vice president, reports in detail how photography would switch completely from film to digital by 2010.
In 1981, Vince Baraba, of Kodak's Market Intelligence, researched and came to 3 conclusions. Firstly, digital photography could replace Kodak's film-based business. Secondly, the change would be non-threatening, for a time. Thirdly, Kodak has roughly 10 years to be prepared. So in the years 1979 to 1981, Kodak becomes aware photography will switch from film to digital. However, Kodak took more than 10 years to start its move.
Why did Kodak take more than 10 years to decide?
Kodak was caught in a dilemma. The crux being the difference in the profit margins between chemistry-based film photography on one hand and electronics-based digital photography on the other hand. The profit margin in film being 75% versus the profit margin in digital being 3.5%. Why move from film to digital to have a profit margin of 3.5% instead of 75%? In the meantime, others moved. In 1989, Fuji sells the Fujix DSX, the world's first commercially produced digital camera.
Kodak took 12 years to decide. It is 1993 when Kodak makes George Fisher its chairman and CEO. Fisher is the first outsider to ever be made CEO of Kodak. Perhaps an outsider, not bound by the tenets of Kodak's corporate mindset, was needed. In any case, Fisher focuses on the switch to digital technology.
In 1999, the first camera phone in the world becomes available. It's the Kyocera VP210 with a 2-inch LCD. It pioneers the concept of a camera integrated into a mobile phone. What effect, if any, does the innovation of a camera phone have on how photography is done? We shall look into this in part 3. That concludes part 2, the heyday of Kodak from the year 1976 to 2000. The story continues in part 3.